I'd say both sides had their moments. Again, it was a big time situation day, so there was some 3rd and 20s, some 2nd and 1s. You try to put stress on both sides of the ball the best you can. Good competitive practice.
Brian, in all of your experience as an assistant coach and now as a head coach, do you notice guys in the last week of training camp really changing, feeling the pressure, especially those who are on the bubble? And if so, what do you say to them to kind of, keep them focused?
Yeah, it's a great question, Patty. I think that, look, they're human. So that as it gets closer to a cut-down date, I'm sure some players feel that way. Again, you just try to be open and honest with everybody. There's, teams not cut down yet, and there's plenty of opportunities for people to show what they can do, particularly in this last game. And, again, empathy goes a long way, I think.
When it comes to receivers, people get caught up in speed and size. How good of a route runner is Isaiah Hodgins, and how much a part of a game is that of his game?
Sure. Yeah, I think the most important thing for a skilled player in the pass game is they can create separation. And some players create it different ways. Some use their size, some use their speed, some use their quickness. There's all different ways. Their route savviness. He's been in the system for quite some time. I think it allows him to play fast, knowing what to do, and I think he's usually on the same page with the quarterback and some of the things that we ask our skilled players to do. He's done a good job.
How much does it complicate things where you got to make decisions here in a week of guys who are maybe on the bubble who are banged up? Like, how do you factor that in when you're making these decisions?
Yeah, that's another great question. It's really just by past performance, if we've had them, or what we've seen out of them up to this point, whether it's through OTAs, through training camp. If they can't go, they can't go. So certainly a lot of discussion, about those type of players that haven't been out there. So you have to kind of project a little bit. And some of them you have experience with, some of them are new players. So a lot of discussion.
I thought Brandon Brown made an interesting point yesterday when he was asked.
He's smart, isn't he?
He is a smart person. Smarter than I am.
Yeah, me too.
He made the point, that you have to understand what Jalen Hyatt was asked to do at Tennessee. Is that something that as a coach and obviously a former offensive coordinator, that you had to kind of understand in evaluating players and everything? I just thought that was an astute point, given that everyone wants to kill the kid for a route tree that he doesn't do.
Yeah, I just think you have to really do, your due diligence on every player that's coming out in the draft. They're not exactly going to be in the system that you're running, but so you have to really do a good job of identifying strengths and things that you think they're capable of. And there's a lot of time and energy and effort spent in that process, from meeting with the player, whether it's at the combine, whether you bring him out 30, whether you go out and do a private workout, spending time at the school. It's a pretty exhaustive process, and there's players that play in a completely different scheme, but you can see a skill set that you like to work with after you go through that whole process. And then every player is not for every team, but we do a lot of work on that.
Have you changed your process a little bit in the way you approach it?
No, I would say, to be completely honest, cut down day sucks. It really does, because you develop relationships with players, you see how hard they work, and to, bring a player up to your office and let them know that we're going in a different direction or they didn't make the team, you get a lot of different reactions, and I completely understand it. They've laid everything they have on the line, and, it's a sports business, but it's a people business. So if you have relationships with people, that's not easy. It's not easy for me.
I don't think we've asked you yet. Rob Gronkowski said last week the only coach who could lure him out of retirement is Brian Daboll. Is that a phone call you'd make?
Well, I'm close with Rob, so got a lot of respect, admiration. Coached him for 4 years. He's a good friend, but we've talked. I'm not saying we talked about that, but he's a close friend. When you coach someone for 4 years, and he's a very productive player for you and really a good person. We're from the same town, so I wouldn't read too much into that.
What do you like best about this defense?
I like the players, the people. You know what I mean? The players themselves. It's like I said, I know you hear the word selfless, but it truly is a selfless group who cares about our success, and that is cool in today's day and age of the NFL. Like you got a Dory who's helping those young corners out. I mean, he's a stud, and he wants them to be great. And I love the people here. I think that's what Joe and Dave's and even the prior regime. There's some good people in this building that want to do right for the Giants and do right for our defense and do right for our team. Most importantly.
Does the fact that Rodgers is playing give you an especially good opportunity, like to prepare these guys to face like the best of the best?
Yeah. I think that I get excited every time going against him because he's a titan of the league. He's one of the titans of the league, and we all know that. You see the energy he brought to the city, and I really do like him. I want him to have a bunch of success, except when we're playing against each other, and he knows that, and hopefully he feels the same way. But I just think that he's one of the best, and it's always, as players and coaches, just like you saw in London, it's fun playing that chess match with him. There's so many little things that you got to cover when you're going against him. So I think I know if I was a rookie, I'd be jacked, like the two corners, to go against Aaron Rodgers, because it's one of the best of the best.
Is that something
So if you like him, then you're not going to blitz him? Is that?
We'll see.
With Okereke, nothing against the guys you had last year, but you had young guys or guys that came off the street at some point. To have a guy, he's a proven player in this league. He's had success. How big an upgrade is that, or how much better can this defense be, knowing you have that, linchpin kind of in the middle of your defense?
I've always said this philosophically: if you have a fast Mike, you have a fast defense, and he's a really fast Mike, and a lot of his success will depend on how we play up front, and we've seen improvement there as well. I know you guys haven't seen Nacho and Ashawn practice or play yet in the game, but we've seen them in practice, and we're starting to get DJ back now. He's been practicing. I like what I see from him, and of course, Jordan Riley, everybody's been talking about.
What did you take out of that game the other day?
It was a great game. I was meaning preseason game. It was it's still preseason though. Still a lot to come from it. We were very resilient. It was great to see. Everybody play. I felt good making plays and going out there. So yeah, it was good.
What about that? I know it was limited, but you versus Aquanu, that was the guy who was drafted in your draft class. What'd you think of that matchup?
He's a good player. I think it's still early. For me, I always understand that you grow as the season goes on. So he's definitely a great player, and I know he'll continue to grow as the season goes.
I know it's only preseason, but how much of a test for this defense is limited for a guy like Aaron Rodgers to face him?
Say it one more time.
How much of a test is it limited, I know, to face Aaron Rodgers?
He's obviously seen defenses for years on end, so I think it won't really be a challenge for him. I think they're just going to go out and, not speaking for just the preseason itself, but he'll probably be out, get some reps, and they'll probably sit him down early. So, but I can see it being a good game.
A year ago, you were just gotten hurt and dealing with that. How much different do you feel going into year two just with that in mind?
It's confident. It's funny. I thought about that today. Just being able to do the whole training camp and all the preseason games, and now coming into the first game of the year in a couple weeks. I think it's exciting, man. I'm ready.
There are ways that Wink changes things up so that you guys can't get a little bit stale on the practice field or anything like that. You've been going at it a few weeks now.
No, I think practice, just changing the emphasis, continue to, amongst ourselves as players, continue to set a new standard and, continue to sharpen the details.
How different is this time around for you, though? You've been here.
Yeah.
And established, obviously.
It's not really different. It's another training camp. I assume, as long as I stay with the Giants, we stay with the same coaching staff. Training camps will probably be, somewhat similar for the next however many years. So it's been good. It's been hard work. It's been hot. But yeah, I'm ready for the season.
What's it like having Ojulari and yourself pushing each other? Knowing that you're important to this defense?
Just consistent tests. We're both competitive players, so just trying to, be the best we can and then push each other, right? We're both trying to get the sack, and if we're meeting back there, whether it's getting a punch out on the ball or running to the ball down the field, we're always trying to make each other better.
What do you think about the fact that the Jets are getting so much preseason attention on Hard Knocks, like a lot going their way as far as like national media spotlight?
I mean, I'm happy for them. I hope that they get, everything that they work for.
Do you have any personal goals for this season?
To win and stay healthy. Availability is the best ability. So just being there, being a force for my team, and limiting mistakes, taking advantage of all my opportunities.
So you don't have like a sack number you hope to get to?
No, I just want to really be effective. I do multiple things in the defense, so sacks isn't, I'm trying to be a jack of all trades. Sacks isn't just the only focus, but it is a big focus.
I know you guys did it last year, but would you like to have a chance to go out there against Aaron Rodgers in this game this week?
I mean, playing football is playing football, so no matter where you line us up, I'd love to go play. But definitely, whether it's against Aaron Rodgers or, the next however many games we have, I'm going to be excited to play. So it's another preseason game. I'm not really too, trying not to get too high or too low. Just understand that it's about getting better and competing.
Aziz, on a day like this, does the heat bother you at all? It bothers me.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be out there in the heat, get acclimated to it, working every day, pushing through it, because starting September, the heat, it's hot out there, so we got to get used to it and keep pushing through, the hard days in camp, you just got to keep pushing.
As part of your defense, what have you seen from Jordan Riley?
Man, he's coming in, head down, working every day, focused, locked in. You got Big Dex, Leo in there, grinding, helping him out, Nacho, A-Sean, they're all working on him, and, he's pushing them every day, and he's just improving every day, man, going hard and getting better.
Do guys respect a guy who comes in kind of unheralded and ends up kind of showing you something?
Yeah, man, once if you out there playing hard every day, you're going to gain some type of respect from your teammates, coaches, and everyone. Just putting it all on the line in practice. And when you get an opportunity on Sunday, Saturday, whenever we play, it's just great to show what you got.
It seemed today that Wink kind of lit a fire under you guys during that last session. I mean, what was going on?
Yeah, we had a lot of plays during that last session, and we just wanted to keep pushing through when it got hard for us, and we just wanted to keep going, just find a new energy, a gear in you to keep pushing, even though we're all tired. You just got to keep pushing through. You never know, you might have a long drive in the game. We're just preparing ourselves for those moments.
In September?
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Did Thibodeaux give you any words because he got a sack and you didn't?
Oh, nah, he ain't give me none. We out there competing. We trying to race to get there. We all trying to get make a play out there and keep our conditioning and get our conditioning right.
How much did you emphasize playing against the run as part of your game that maybe Wink has told you perhaps that you could improve?
Oh, yeah, it's big, because I want to be an all-down player, coming out there and dominating whenever I'm out there, just do my job to the best of my ability, whatever I can do to set the edge, help the team, stop the run, tackle for losses, just making an impact out there.
After a couple of weeks, what do you think of the defense?
Man, I mean, we're still working, man. We can't wait to show everyone, throughout this season what we got, and we're just going to keep our head down, keep working. Sky's the limit, man. Just keep working.
Are you looking forward to playing Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm looking forward to playing all the quarterbacks, every team. I can't wait this year. I can't wait to get out there and attack.
I thought we were sharp. I thought each group executed well together. The guys up front did a really good job in protection, and guys got open, made plays. So thought we communicated. We're in and out of the huddle well. A lot of those kind of basic things that you look for in your first time in a game situation. So thought it was good to build off of.
Just looking at that with Waller, just your chemistry early on, how exciting is that?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. We've gotten on the same page in practice, and he's shown up, made a lot of big plays for us, and it's good to see it in a game, but certainly wasn't a surprise to any of us.
Do you view your athleticism and running the ball as an essential part of your game and your guys' offense, or would you like to see this year's offense be more of a downfield passing attack that doesn't rely as much on that?
I think we just want to win games. I mean, score points and win games. However we do that, I don't think any of us really care too much about that. So using my legs or throwing the ball downfield or however it comes, I think we're just trying to score points and be as effective as we can as a group.
Where do you stand on wanting to play in the third preseason game or needing more work?
Yeah, obviously that's the head coach's call. It's Dave's call, and whatever decision he makes, it's our job to make it work, and we'll be good with it. So, yeah, we're preparing and getting ready to go, and he'll make that call.
How do you compare the talent around you in terms, especially the skill positions, now to last year this time?
I think it's just a different group of guys. I think some of the same guys, and then we brought in a few guys who bring different skill sets, and I think they've all done a really good job kind of getting on the same page and getting into the flow, understanding what this offense is, and how we do things as a group, as a team, and I think we got a lot of dynamic playmakers.
Daniel, is there an area in training camp that you think your team or the offense came the farthest? Did you, from when training camp started till we stand here now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily one area. I think we've made progress across the board in everything that we've focused on, and I think we're playing fast right now. We're not done. There's still work we need to do, and we got a couple weeks to do it. So that's what we'll focus on. But I think we've made steps kind of across the board.
How scary is that when something happens like that on the field with Tommy?
Yeah, that was extremely scary. You never want to see that on the field, and I haven't been inside yet to see how he's doing, but heard he's doing okay and is up. So definitely thinking about him.
Whether you play or not, as a quarterback, do you pay attention to a guy like Aaron Rodgers when he's out there just to see how he does his craft?
Yeah, I think you're always watching the other quarterback, and whether that's on film or obviously in a game situation, and studying him, and certainly a guy like Aaron Rodgers who's played at the level he has for as long as he has. Looking forward to watching him.
We'll take two more if you have. There's a report that you put on about 10 pounds of muscle this offseason. Is that accurate? Like, did you bulk up more?
No. I'm a little bit heavier and maybe a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, but 10 pounds might be an exaggeration.
Daniel, is there anything to gain advantage-wise for you guys as you're going there Saturday night, knowing that if they do play their first team defense, even if you're not playing, the idea of preparing, getting to see them up close, knowing that you're going to see them the end of October. I know a lot of things can change, but can you gain something from being able to see them out there, knowing that defense might be the one you're facing? Yeah,
I think so, for sure. Like I said, we're preparing to play and studying them on film, trying to get a sense for their system, how they do things on defense, and then in the game we'll see how they adjust to certain things, and trying to learn as much as we can, knowing that we play them down the road.
What do you make of, sort of, lack of a better term, sharing the city with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, and the fact that the Jets are a hot topic and they are getting a lot of attention?
I don't put a whole lot of thought into that. I'm focused on being the best quarterback for this team that I can be, and doing everything I can to win games. So I got a ton of respect for Aaron Rodgers and their team, but just kind of focused on what we're doing.
What's it like to get back out there after going through concussion protocol?
Feel good to be back out there, getting my feet back up under me. Thankfully, I was only out for about a week and a half or so it wasn't that much time, but it's just good to be back out there with the guys.
What was your takeaway from Friday night's game?
It was a solid showing for sure. Just good reps for our offense and our team, in general. Still have a lot of work to do, still have a long way to go, but, it was a solid showing.
How far advanced do you feel you are from a year ago at this time and maybe even a year ago at the end of the season?
I feel like I've gotten better, but like I said, I still have a lot of more work to go. I mean, it's still preseason, so we're just going to see as the year goes on. I'm going to continue, to work on my craft, continue to get better every day, and just see how good I get.
What do you think you're specifically better at?
I feel like I got overall better at balance. I've worked on a few technique things. I've leaned out, gotten better shape, better condition for sure.
Andrew took such a big leap from year 1 to year 2. Have you talked to him about kind of things he did to progress so much after?
Yeah, I'm in Andrew's ear all the time. Just talking ball or just chopping it up. He's a great resource to have in the room for sure. I'm thankful for him. I feel like all the guys in the room are thankful for having AT.
Anything in particular that he kind of advised you on?
Nothing in specific. Our conversations are our conversations, but he definitely is in my ear. I'm in his ear, and we definitely have a lot of dialogue for sure. And I appreciate all the tips he may give me for sure.
How important was it to you to get out of your stance quicker?
That's the nature of the game, that offensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? You get off, get into your spot. I feel like I did a pretty good job at that. Just want to continue. I feel like that went back to me finding a comfortable stance that I can get into and get out of. And Friday night I did that well, but man, that's a preseason game. So I'm not really going to harp on that, as much. I have a lot more work to do, and I have to continue to get out of my stance for the duration of the season. So I'm going to focus on that.
You feel good with this stance? You feel like tweaking it as you go along?
I look good, didn't I?
What was Bobby's message to you guys after today's practice?
Just to come out, just train harder. It was a pretty humid day, for sure. Guys can get a little fatigued, especially after a day off. Basically just telling us to, just keep chopping, just keep grinding when it gets hard, when it gets tough.
You had a second level block on Eric's touchdown, where you went off and didn't seal the guy. Is that something that you feel like you've gotten better at and had to get better at?
Sure. It was a good block, man. I got to the second level, squared them up, and I, drove them to the end zone. And thankfully, we scored for sure. But everybody on the play, did their job. That's why it was successful. So, it was a good play.
How much fun is it to be in the film room and look at a play like that in particular? It just seemed like everybody was on their man and.
Yeah, it's extremely fun to watch, definitely, but you don't want to harp on the good things too much. You may want to focus on the corrections, the things that you can get better at. But it's always good to see, when all 11 guys on the field do their job and, good results comes out of that, for sure.
Did you ask to be out there that long on Friday night, or did they say you've missed time, you want you out there a little longer?
It really wasn't a conversation. When out there, they told me, Evan, you plan to, first half, and I said, okay.
You talk to cornerbacks and they say short-term memory. Does that apply to an offensive lineman?
I feel like that applies to everybody on the football field. Sometimes, you're going to have bad plays. Everybody out there gets paid. Everybody is elite. So, sometimes you're going to give up a bad play. You just got to turn the next page. You can't harp on the past, because if you harp on the past, that will affect your play in the future. So just turn the next page and keep it pushing.